We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Hell yes, I get to ride the dragon.
The hell's wrong with you people?
I know Kung Fu.
Tank, you want to switch? No, I'm good. I got it.
Stay down.
I could do this all day.
If you had to transform into one mythical creature and then get married to a different mythical creature.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Maximum effort.
How about a magic trick?
HR.
Not an animal.
HR. Is HR.
Somebody call HR down here.
That man is playing Galaga.
Oh, hang on. Did I get the... Okay, there we go. Okay, go.
Welcome to the Nerds from Work, your weekly escape into the world of geeks, nerds, and Tank, who obviously doesn't know when or when things do not run. I just noticed I've got my son's where I used to have like Venom and Nightwing and all sorts of cool shit. This is what I have now.
Aren't kids great? Aren't they the best? That's
oh,
why.
and I have him.
Yeah.
And my son's pillow. This is what
what's
my background now.
You
Yeah.
got your son's stuff in there.
Two
I have
years.
I have my actual son asleep next to me. Right?
Nice. No, see.
Shit, he's about to get woke. He's about to get woke.
I heard him talking to himself just now.
All right. Oh, Tank's already started.
Ding, 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 ding. I don't have any. The ice is already melted.
Apple juice, y'all. So,
Yeah, so is mine.
There we go.
Yeah, you know, in the Marine Corps, we may or may not have put things in apple juice bottles just to get through the day. All right, so it kind of looks like apple juice sometimes.
It does. See, it's the same color.
So, yeah, right? It's similar. No, I was saying more of what I'm doing, because then it's got like the kind of the fuzz on top.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Kind of like apple juice when you shake it.
Carbonated apple juice.
Just saying. Don't sniff my apple juice. If you see me in public, we've got a few sightings that we might start our Nerds from Work grand tour this year. Don't sniff my apple juice.
Don't sniff.
If it's during a day show, don't sniff my apple juice.
Yeah.
You can sniff Naru's though. Odds are, it will be apple juice.
It'll be actual apple juice.
Mm-hmm.
So, what have you guys been up to lately?
Nothing, dude. I feel like I was sitting here like a few minutes ago. I was sitting here pouring my drink, and I was like, "What have I done this last week?"
Basically, you're just a
Nothing.
waste of fucking flesh and bone.
Like I did a
You're
little.
just a waste of life.
I did a little kung fu. I helped the wife. We're trying to build a new entertainment center for our movie room. I moved the speaker cables because they run like through the attic and through the walls and stuff. That was a pain in the ass. That's it. Like that's all I've done. I gone to work. Oh, I drew. I added a doodle after Jason's because I saw Jason's like, fuck, that was cool. So I went and did one, and I put that on Instagram. That was fun. And I think mine took like half the time his did because mine's super simple.
Mine, the first panel took the most time because it was like character design.
Right.
Once I had the characters, it was easy, but to think of characters was difficult.
Yeah. Oh, like, well, see, that's the nice thing about like D&D is you guys already we already created the characters. So, like, I pulled up the first episode of the podcast to get.
It's yes, we created the characters, but then like when I'm sketching it, it's like, okay, we didn't say what skin colors would be, right? So like your character's skin would be a little darker than Brandon's character's skin because Brandon's character is like a night owl who lives in the bar, and yours is like a farmer, like, you know, like you're a blacksmith or whatever, and it's like, okay, so that doesn't make sense why it would, like, things like that, like little things.
Yeah. But no, I had a lot of fun drawing that, and I'm definitely gonna try and do some more in that style, because it's like something like the style overall is really simple. I then, like Jason said, I went back in and added like the character details, which took a little bit longer, but that was fun. I mean, I've been enjoying the hell out of this iPad since my wife got it for me last year, so every chance I get to doodle on it. And so, but other than that, man, like, I just got done editing Dungeons and Day Drinkers that goes up tomorrow. Hint, hint. Well,
It's already out if you're listening to this Friday.
It'll go up Wednesday the 26th. Episode 4, finishing up our first chapter of Dungeons and Day Drinkers. So
amazing.
Yeah, it's been hell of fun. But I've been working a lot, doing a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. I got 2 games this weekend, so I'm pumped.
2 games.
Yeah, my home game is meeting Saturday morning right after Kung Fu, and then the podcast game is meeting Sunday afternoon. So I got like 6-7 hours worth of Dungeons and Dragons this weekend. Hell yeah!
I wish we could get into what's going on in that show on this show, but
Dude,
it's so far behind, so we can't.
It's so hard to remember because I'm editing months ago. And then, we show up on Sunday, fuck, what did we do last time? Because I have no idea. I am, months behind trying to, getting the editing and stuff. So, if we keep this pace up, we'll, maybe I can...
You guys may know what's going on with my character in 2021.
Yeah, right.
If you guys keep this pace up, you're probably going to be like those movie stars who, they forgot about the movie they finished filming, and then they got to go do press.
I have to listen to the show when it comes out because I totally forgot what happened at that point. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, that's funny. And then that's how I create the comic strip is, based off of one short joke, just one piece of our hour-long episode, right? It's like, oh, yeah, that 2-second joke that Brandon said, that's really funny. I'm gonna turn that into a comic strip because it's no plot, right? There's no real thing going on, so it's not gonna break anything. So it's like, oh, that's funny.
It's just a point in time.
Yeah, it's didn't really affect the game at all.
Right.
It's
but I am mad going back and editing. There's things I'm like, shit, I should have brought that up the next session, that we played, and I totally forgot because it was 2 or 3 weeks after the first session, and
things said,
right, things that happened, and now it's we're in the listener's eyes, if I were to bring it up on Sunday, it's been months since that first, because it would have been in the second episode.
I mean, that's
so it's
that's how Critical Role does it. Oh yeah, remember that one time?
Yeah,
that one time this happened years ago.
Right.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So, also, because oh shit, I can't do that either. Nope, never mind. Sorry, you're right. This is so hard because I want to talk about it so bad, and all right,
it's difficult.
I need to just get my shit together and start releasing them quicker so that they're a little bit closer.
So that way our fans know what's going on.
Yeah.
Rue, what have you been up to, dude?
FYI, for those who don't know, this is our last week officially, I think, in this apartment. We're moving next...
What?
Nice.
Yeah, moving this coming week. Basically next week we're in a new place, and it's been digging stuff.
Are you guys moving to a larger place?
No, we're moving to a much smaller. Of course, we're moving to a larger place.
Dude, fuck, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
No, we're moving to a large. I just decided it was time to move to an actual house. So we're just renting an actual house. The plan is to rent for the next couple years, and then at the end of that time, take the plunge and actually buy.
Dude,
nice.
For now, it's been all about boxing shit up.
I fucking hate moving.
Yeah, man, just pack this up, pack that up, and then it's funny. I had a time when I was trying to go into buying cheap toys on sale and then selling stuff off on eBay. So in lifting my mattress up, I found some stuff under my bed. I'm like, oh my god, this is
those Playboys that you've been holding on to for
since '76.
There's boxes of stuff in here that I plan
they still have Bush.
Dude, I understand.
That's the Playboys that Rue remembers. The Bush League.
The Bush League.
Yeah, well,
dude, I've you can ask anyone who knows me. My kids can move me because I'm not doing it again. I fucking hate moving.
Dude, I'm right there with you.
Oh.
And then 3 days ago, Kelsey and I were like, oh shit. Okay, we have to move.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No way. Are you serious?
Why?
We're moving.
You just got this place.
We got it 2.
You son of a! You nearly convinced us to buy the house two houses from you.
But now, because you didn't and somebody else got it.
Oh, now you want to blame me. Okay.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point. You should have bought that fucking house. Right. Then I wouldn't be moving. Motherfucker. No, it's not our house.
I'm not even playing. We seriously thought about it. We really did think this is not a bad area. It was just I knew I was going to be likely my
drive nowhere.
My company was going to move downtown. I'm like, that was just not in the cards.
The drive is difficult if you don't like. I work from home 3 days a week, and then my job takes me all over Georgia anyway, so it doesn't really matter where I live. So we're gonna move closer to her job, but it's not our house or anything like that. It's just the area is growing, and we'll make money off the sale. So it's just time.
Yeah.
We're like, all right.
You telling me this move is all about the Benjamins?
Are you kidding me?
Dude,
all right.
See, I'm in the opposite. I hired a financial advisor who want to get super nerdy in a totally different direction, and so we've been going through it. And I've already did all the math. 2022, I'm gonna get my first rental property and start getting that passive income.
Yo,
I may not know a mortgage person who can help you with all of that because he just set his cousin up with the same thing.
Nice.
But you and I are definitely thinking the same way. Like I'm definitely thinking. That's why I want to do this strategically. Like first of all, sit down. Let's focus on getting debt under control.
Dude.
Focus on saving some cash and planning towards some things. Second thing is definitely who's asking you. Second thing, whatever. Second thing is start looking into passive income streams. So yeah, that makes absolute sense.
Dude, I'm trying to retire at 46, so I gotta get that shit rolling. It's 16 years. Yeah. When my youngest graduates high school, I plan on retiring and doing whatever the fuck I want for the next 60 years until I'm 100. So,
dude, I mean, it's not crazy to think that I can be.
Your math is a little wonky.
Advances in modern science. I can be 400 years old. The show can go for a long time.
I should send you guys a link to that cartoon I said I've been reading since 2009. Nice. I really should.
Oh my gosh, I've been working like crazy. Tank knows but also this is the weird part. I've been working a lot, but since my son doesn't sleep, I wake up super early. Yep. So my work starts at like 4:30 or 5 a.m.
You wake up super early as compared to your usual wake up time, which is
now
about
I start
5.
working at like 5, not getting up at 5. I am working, like sending out emails, and then like nobody wakes up in my house until later. So it's like, okay, I've sent my emails. What am I gonna do now? So then I have two choices.
Break out the
and
video
Tank
game.
made a mention of it last week because I study martial arts like inside and out. I've dissected things inside and out. So I'm like, all right, I need to turn my brain off for a little bit. I have gone back to Legends of Runeterra, like in a dangerous way though. So the game is so good. And I was like, why is it so good though? So now I'm dissecting this, right? I'm like, why is it so good? Because they took people from Magic the Gathering that were like Pro Tour champions, like back in the early 2000s, and they helped design the game. And they're like, what were some things you were frustrated with?
Yeah.
We hate these things. So they took them out. And then they're like, well, we also hate randomness. So there are no random packs. You can't buy cards.
Yeah.
It's like you have to earn everything because it's made by the people who make League of Legends.
Yep. Right.
It's like, and this is the coolest part to me, is every 2 weeks they do an update and they change the cards just a little bit.
Oh, cool.
So there's no defined meta.
Yeah.
So the games don't get stale. There's no like, oh, if you have this or pay for this, you're always going to be at the top, because in 2 weeks it's going to change and all your cards change.
That's crazy.
Just like League of Legends.
Yeah.
But you don't pay for the cards, so you're not like super pissed. You just have to go through and build something else.
Yeah.
Huh. So it's really about like adaptability.
Yeah. Which plays right into our martial art as well, which is yeah.
Dude, but see, that's another thing. See, I'm like, oh yeah, I took a break, but I didn't take a break.
No.
Because that's another thought process, is like strategy thinking.
Yep.
And the offense defense at the same time of Legends of Runeterra. It's like it all blends together with card games.
Dude.
And like chess, strategy, and fighting.
Life,
like they blend.
Life is Wing Chun. Wing Chun is life.
Fighting is life.
Dude.
But I was like, oh yeah, this is like chess boxing, like the old Wu-Tang song, right? Chess boxing. And then I like typed in chess boxing because I wanted to listen to it on YouTube, right, while I was working. And then there's a chess boxing league, but it's like it's terrible. Like they each make one move in chess, and then they fight for like 20 seconds.
What?
And then they have to make another chess move, and then they fight again. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
No,
like, if you were that good, you would just be a regular boxer or a regular chess player. Like,
yeah, it's like, oh, you're
just like the most mediocre people.
I'm not great at either, so I'm gonna do both.
Yeah, like I'm average. Like my dad taught me chess,
right?
And once I had Fisher-Price boxing gloves, I'm definitely gonna do this.
I am watching a chess boxing video right now. I'm thinking to myself, this is the dumbest shit.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Now I feel left out.
The name of the guy who came up with its name is weird. Iepi Rupinik or something.
Fucking Russian, of course.
Like, so, and say that I'm weird. Say whatever you want. But if you're a good boxer, like Floyd Mayweather, right? You can say whatever you want about him, but in a fight, he is a strategist. Like, that is what he does.
He's a midget.
Conor McGregor, he is a strategist. Like, the good fighters are strategists. The people that play chess don't fight. Like, they play chess. Now, they may box in their off time, but they're not going to be a boxing champion. Wow, I have started something, because now both of you are watching chess boxing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so curious.
First comment I see. Proof that people will watch anything. I'm about to invent basketball checkers.
Basketball checkers.
Dude, I would watch basketball checkers over chess boxing.
Dude,
they took a Wu-Tang song and tried to...
They said it was based off of a comic book. I'm like, what? What are you...
Chess boxing?
I'm so...
Yeah. Like the video I'm looking at started by saying is based off of a comic book. This was never supposed to be.
From when? I think the mystery of chess boxing is a Wu-Tang song that was based off of a line in a like kung fu movie from the 70s.
Dude, what? This is... I'm so confused. Why are they just randomly get up, take the chessboard out of the ring,
and then
start boxing
a little bit?
Yeah, just for like, I don't know, for like a minute or two. And then, no, it's cool.
And then they go back to playing chess.
We'll just, what the fuck? No, I'm so done with this video. It's so stupid. It's so dumb.
How do you even box after? I mean, how do you play?
I didn't even watch it. Good job.
Two punches to the head, and you can't think of what your last move was.
I will say this: I've been hit in the head a lot, and when somebody hits you in the head right, all you see is white for a second. I remember thinking, "Okay, good, I'm still on my feet." That was a real thought I had.
Yeah.
Like I got clocked in the side of the head by the heavyweight champion.
That's a black. It's not a white. You're seeing white. Don't touch
No. Yeah. It was a heavyweight champion of the Georgia games. I was in a boxing match. He clocked me in the side of the head. Everything went white, and then it came back. And I remember thinking to myself, "Okay, good. I'm still on my feet. I'm good." Like, which is weird because most people would think like that sucked. I was like, "No, okay, I'm still good. Like, we're still going."
See, this is why
I'm not down.
This is why you and I come at Wing Chun from very different angles, because that's not my mentality at all, like whatsoever. We have the exact same. We're learning the exact same martial art. Use it in two very different ways.
Yeah, when I get
Isn't
hit,
that
it's like
kind of what happens. Like,
okay,
really?
Yeah, it is. But it's just funny because Jason and I are very polar opposite when it comes to how we like train and think about.
Oh, I just remembered. I spent a couple days binge watching Baki on Netflix.
Dude,
there you go.
What do you think about that?
That is insane shit.
It's
so ridiculous.
It is super fun.
It's so much fun.
It's fun. I mean, I'm like, what am I? Look, how is he standing up from that? Wait a second, he's not dead? Oh my god!
The Yakuza guy who gets his face blown off.
He gets his face blown off, and he gets up and goes, "Is that all you got?" And then falls over. I'm like, and then he's walking around later with a mask because his cheeks have been blown out of his face, but his teeth are still there.
Right. I mean, it's still an anime. Let's get real.
Oh, that's a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I forget. So, shout out because I don't think I've talked about it on the show yet. Picard started streaming on CBS a couple weeks ago.
Nobody cares.
Shut your mouth, Naru.
I'm kidding.
I will fucking kick you out of this meeting so fast. But no, it's been good. It's different. It's very different than anything Star Trek before it. Do it? Yeah. Do I pay for it?
Ooh.
No.
Because I'm not paying for that.
No,
just for that.
my dad pays for it. So
let's segue just a little bit from there, because I'm going to take one of those words. Has anybody started watching the final season of the Clone Wars on Star Wars Disney Plus?
I haven't watched any of the
Clone
Clone Wars.
Has it come out yet? No.
Yes, it came out last week.
I started actually some weeks back ahead of it. I started trying to start watching the Clone Wars because I hadn't seen the entire series yet. So
that's why I want to segue just a little bit, because I only found out about it because a small ad on YouTube, not even a video, just a little, like, in the bottom it said the Clone Wars, the final season,
right,
on Disney Plus today, and I'm like,
why
you don't even have a video. Like, I'm watching the video for Falcon Winter Soldier. You're not advertising the final season of the Clone Wars. They're not hyping it up like they did The Mandalorian or their own streaming service, period, or how they're hyping up the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like Star Wars is like on the back burner now that the saga's over.
No, it definitely is. I mean, at this point, Disney knows that they have to come up with some new stuff. They know that Star Wars needs, to be reinvented, something really fresh. There's nothing wrong with giving people the stuff they like, but they're gonna have to come up with some new stuff anyway. So that's that. Secondly, everybody knows that the Marvel stuff has been on hiatus since I don't know, forever. It feels like.
I know.
And so pretty much people are hungry for anything new with regards to that. However, I mean, even Toy Story 4 just came out, is on Disney Plus, and I didn't realize it was there until today. I'm like, oh, Disney, yeah, fine, I can see it. I didn't go see it in theaters. My wife took my kids to see it, and I thought,
same actually.
They don't need an extra $15 for me to see this, so they can just go. They can go see it. I'll see it when it comes out. So yeah. Honestly though, Disney Plus doesn't feel like quite the, excitement to excitement thing I thought it was.
Dude,
gonna be, which
know what? That's a good topic. What were you gonna say, Tank?
That I disagree slightly, but it's probably because my kids are a little bit younger than yours. And Jason's talked about these movies on the show before. The Descendants movies, fucking the music.
Wait, I talked about that?
Yeah, because your girls watch it.
I have 2 girls, yeah.
Well, I don't.
They talk about that shit all the time.
I have 2 boys, and fuck it, I added the movie soundtracks to my Spotify because the music in those movies is so fucking good. And those 3 movies by themselves are worth the price of admission for this app because my kids watch the shit out of those movies right now. So
well, I'll be honest and say I wasn't talking about the kids.
Yeah, no. So I'll mention it. I'll speak from both perspectives, right? Because my kids aren't here full time.
Yeah.
Like my 7 and my 9-year-old, but my son likes Cars, but he also likes Seinfeld. So it's like whatever. He doesn't really care. Like his favorite shows right now are like Cheers and Seinfeld.
That's funny. That's great.
And then American Pickers. And then Cars. But then it's like...
I can't wait for him to fall in love with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
My meetings will commence until morality. So... Yeah. I was just thinking about this the other day as I was scrolling through my list of apps on my TV, right? And I passed Disney Plus to go to Hulu. And I was like, I haven't really watched Disney Plus
in a week
since I finished The Mandalorian, Imagineering, and like a couple other shows that I really wanted to watch. I haven't really gone back to it. And when the girls are here, so to Tank's perspective, when the kids are here, we open it up and they'll watch DuckTales and whatever.
Fucking Mickey Mouse Playhouse.
My son watches Mickey Mouse. I don't let him watch Playhouse. I let him watch Mickey Mouse and the Roadster Racers.
Yeah, my older ones likes that one.
Why don't you let him watch Playhouse?
Because we're a house full of motor enthusiasts.
Oh, but is it an either or?
No, like it's nothing against Mickey Mouse.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. Okay.
We just try to push cars on him.
nothing
this is
like
his favorite toy. I'm not joking with you.
Nothing like
he'll spend like hours on this thing.
That's right.
And falls off and then looks at me like, did you see that? This thing knocked me off.
Yeah, right.
How dare it?
It's never gonna be his fault.
Yeah, no, it's not. Just like he attacks the dog, and somehow it's the dog's fault. But anyway, as an adult, like I'll skip it and go to Hulu, and I'm like, man, I'm glad I got this Disney package with ESPN, Hulu, and Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really using Disney Plus. And then I'm like, but I'm glad I have it for when Marvel comes out. Disney has really got to start doing stuff to push Disney Plus. Like Netflix, whether we like the shows or not, every month they have new shows.
It almost feels like every week.
But I think I don't think the app as a whole is not for us.
What?
The app as a whole is for our kids. I with the exceptions being the Mandalorian, the new Marvel movies that don't come out for, the shows that don't come out for another year after almost 2 years after the app comes out, a year and a half after the app comes out. Their bread and butter on Disney Plus is the fact that I can put my kids down in front of Disney Plus, and there is a plethora of shows that they will sit there and just lose brain cells to all day long.
But see, that's the problem though, is because in our house, we don't let our children watch television like that.
We don't.
So it's like when we sit down, it's like we have X amount of television time.
Yeah.
What are we going to use that for? Now, I say my son loves Seinfeld because I like background noise when I'm working. So that was like, I just put Seinfeld on because there's fucking 11 seasons of like 30 episodes a season. So it's just background. But like when the girls are here, it's like, okay, you guys have like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Are they going to sit down and watch Disney Plus? Or are they going to watch something on Netflix or on Hulu or any of the other streaming services we have?
Are your kids big on
Plus
YouTube?
is not putting out quality content.
I don't let my kids on YouTube much. They're too young to know to stay away from the stupid shit that's on YouTube.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Wait,
we don't
first of
let
all,
them do.
Once, like in my case, I have multiple accounts, and I have an account which is like the family account, which is where I watch
On your YouTube or on your Disney.
On my YouTube, I have Gmail.
Okay.
I have two Gmail accounts, and one of those accounts is like Family Fare attached to it, and because you can basically curate what you've seen, and then it starts suggesting more and more of that stuff. So what I did though was my kids stumbled on some of these YouTube videos for toys and kids, talking about toys and some kids acting out stuff. So that's pretty much what they enjoy doing now, watching gaming videos and stuff like that. And they're big on that, and because of them, they watch that. They prefer, if I tell them to pick, they rather watch that than watch Disney Plus, which tells you something also about Disney Plus right there. Because I put Disney Plus and try to find stuff for them, and I realized my kids have been spoon-fed Disney Channel for so long. Every so often when we do family night is one of those Disney movies. We've been doing that for years. So there's almost no Disney movies that they haven't seen. There's almost no TV shows in there that they feel they haven't already seen. So they're like not necessarily excited about seeing some of that stuff. So that's why I said it doesn't feel like it's that excitement to excitement to excitement.
It doesn't feel like The Mandalorian, like they're an original that you have to watch.
Well, that's also another thing, because even The Mandalorian, I always felt like the fact I had to wait a week, I'm like, what am I doing for a week? Like, there isn't that much.
This is like a regular television
I'm
show.
so spoiled when it comes to that kind of stuff, especially because bringing it back to Picard, because you guys changed directions on me while I was still talking about it, which is okay. But Picard feels like you shut your mouth. Picard feels like a long ass movie. So the old school Star Treks it's kind of like the old like Monster of the Week, right? It's the Adventure of the Week. Then you'd have the season finale that'd be a 2-parter, right? But every episode was a little self-contained story, right? They'd have some arcs, in the background or whatever. Picard is very much the newer style shows where it's like almost like a drama, but it's it's where it's a story. At least the whole season is going to be. And so it feels like just like a big ass movie, which I'm so spoiled with Netflix. Fucking just give me the whole thing. Don't make me wait week to week, because the problem is with Picard in particular. Watching each episode by itself is not incredibly exciting, but every time I see a trailer for the season as a whole, or like the little mini trailer for like the next episode, I get excited again because I'm like, oh shit, oh that's gonna tie in here. Oh, this now I see how that's all gonna work together. But like the little 45-50 minutes by itself is like, I don't like this is it's just weird. Like if I could binge the whole thing, I think I'd like it a lot better.
So rounding this back to Disney Plus, right? Yeah, 26.5
Fuck your Picard.
26.5 million subscribers.
Damn.
How many of those feel the same way that we do? Like, because you sign up and it's what is it if you don't get because I got the package that's $13 for all 3, and I feel like that's a good deal.
Yeah,
because I get Hulu.
It's a good deal until you want to watch
Disney.
shit on Hulu and you got to put up with those damn ads.
Well, I watch a ton of Hulu, but
see,
like, what is it regular? Like $6?
I don't know because I got it free through Verizon for the first year.
My brother and I were sharing his.
Disney.
I know. I got Disney free through Verizon for the first year. Oh,
Disney is $5.99.
So $6 a month.
Yeah, more or less.
Would you guys pay $6 a month for just that service?
Would I pay for me, or would I pay for me and my family?
Your family.
Yes, because again, my kids love but again, we don't have cable. I haven't had cable since Shannon and I got married. I think we had cable for like a year or two, and I was like, this is stupid. So my kids didn't grow up watching.
Yeah, we don't have cable either.
No, like we just have Netflix and then I acquire movies when we want them, and so this is kind of new for them because they have these 5 seasons worth of Mickey Mouse that it's like Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, and I'm like, fuck, we should have gone to bed before 4 a.m. So here, you guys watch TV so I can sleep on the couch. And they've got 5 seasons of Mickey Mouse so that I can take a nap on the couch.
So what about you, Naru? Do you think $6 a month at the way Disney Plus is currently doing it, or
the way they're currently doing it? I'd probably be doing the whole sign up for a month or two, then cancel or something, because I really don't feel like there's much there for me to do. Like, I binged through the Star Wars everything before the last movie, and I spent time rewatching 1 or 2 Marvel movies, but I'd seen most of those movies elsewhere anyway. I saw 1 or 2 documentaries, kind of like
but the documentaries weren't even like Disney Plus exclusives. There was
because I'd seen some of those things outside before, like even the whole what's that one?
Making a universe.
I'd seen that essence of that.
They
before,
only had new pieces for Disney Plus, like 2 or 3 new pieces that we talked about in a show last year. Yeah, but
so
that was like
I'm gonna be honest and say I'm kind of disappointed, because I felt like you knew this was coming. It's not just enough to bring nostalgia. You got to bring some new stuff to the table.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lull in their programming. Like, they had all these, The Mandalorian was enough to create a buzz.
Of course.
Well, they created this buzz, and now they can't even advertise the last season.
They have 25 million subscribers. Why the fuck do they need to advertise?
Well, because they're not going to stick around.
That's going to be the question.
Well, but people are going to look at it. Financial advisors. Okay, are you using Disney Plus?
Right.
Well,
right.
Mandalorian stopped. I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cancel that shit.
Right.
Like, that's the problem. In 2020, we have so many subscriptions. People don't give a shit, and it's like, wait, why did $7 come out of my bank account? Oh, because I still am subscribed to fucking Napster. Like, the fuck you doing on Napster, bitch?
It'll basically turn into the whole the way I treat HBO right now. Because HBO, I don't have HBO, but because
what are they giving you?
Right, every time there's something new I want to see, like the Game of Thrones, final season, which we shall not talk much more about. But when it came out, I just was like, okay, good. So I got HBO, watched it, boom, done, canceled it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or actually, I forgot to cancel it, and I found out.
And then, like 2 months later, you're like, shit.
Yeah.
That's the thing with HBO. They knew that.
Right.
They watched it. Like, the month prior to Game of Thrones coming out, subscriptions like skyrocketed.
Sure.
The month after Game of Thrones went off, boom.
Sure.
And that's why they're coming out with what is it? The Targaryen story.
Like seriously, the only reason I'm still hanging on to Disney Plus right now, ironically, is because of ESPN Plus, and Hulu. Really.
Okay,
That's
so you have the package deal as well.
Yeah, I have the package deal. So that's pretty much it. Because all my anime needs are on Hulu, and I'm like, the commercials are killing me because I'm like tempted to just cancel and go back.
I don't do commercials.
Dude, you guys are gonna think I'm weird for this. I like Hulu because it gives me the commercials and it reminds me of regular television.
Hell no, dude! I'm so spoiled.
Like, oh yeah, there are
commercials. If you want to be reminded of the regular television,
I like
go watch.
I go to friends' houses, right, and like we'll go to they have cable, right, and we'll like be watching a movie, and then like it goes to commercial. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Why isn't the show starting? What is this? I don't understand. What do you mean? I have to wait 6 minutes for my show to come back on? This is bullshit.
That's why I typically only watch stuff I've recorded on my DVR. So I just go and watch and fast forward right through. I'm like,
worst part, Netflix shows that were not supposed to go to Netflix, but were supposed to go somewhere else. But they are a Netflix original, and they have commercial cuts.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, what?
So I kind of laugh.
What is this?
I laugh at the Descendants movies I was just talking about because there's definitely some edit cuts in there that's like, oh, that would have been a commercial break.
Yeah, it's like, that's a commercial.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, well, hey, I'd rather have the commercial cut with no commercial.
Dude, I'm so...
But it's super obvious.
My kids are going to like go to their friends' houses and like start asking questions like, why is the show not playing? I don't understand because I don't do commercials.
So let's go from here because it's relative, but we don't have enough. So today is what? Okay, so today is Tuesday, February 25th, and today Bob Iger stepped down from being Disney's CEO.
No way.
Like, and that was a shock because a month ago, 2 months ago, it was 2 months ago, I actually told my wife, I was like, you know what? I don't even have a favorite president, but I think I have a favorite Disney CEO, and I'm pretty sure it's Bob Iger. And my wife's like, wait, you don't have a favorite president? And I'm like, nah, I mean, they're all kind of shitty, but like a Disney CEO.
Bill Clinton was amazing.
The only one worth
sexual
anything
with that
was
woman.
George Washington.
I did not have sexual
That was because he didn't even want to be president. Like, he's just like, wait, what? I don't want to be the fucking president. I'm going to do some cool shit. And they were like, you got fucking ivory teeth. He was like, well, fuck you. Watch this.
So he went and did some cool shit.
Do some cool shit. Burn down a house or two. But,
burn down a house or two, blow up a country or two, name some countries.
Whatever.
The axis of evil.
George Washington?
What? No, I'm kidding.
The Axis of Evil?
I'm talking about what's his
Isn't that a band?
The Axis of Evil is World War II. But anyway, history aside. So it was weird because in the Imagineering story, right, they're talking about Disney CEOs, and they get to Bob Iger, and he brought back Walt Disney's original idea because, they had some CEOs trying to go for money, had some trying to develop new ideas to like be different. But what Bob Iger actually did was brought everything back to center like Walt Disney wanted, and then Disney started to flourish. And under Bob Iger, we've had the Marvel acquisition, the Star Wars acquisition, National Geographic. We've gotten Galaxy's Edge. We've gotten Avatar. Like, tons of stuff. And then all of a sudden, he steps down. And the only reason I wanted to touch on it, not dive deep, is because I want to put our thoughts forward, because we were getting into the weeds a little bit before we even started recording, and I wanted to stop it so we could talk about it here. What are your thoughts on it? On him stepping down so suddenly?
So I guess the cynic in me, if you will, is like, oh, what happened? What is he trying to keep from coming to the light? Let me step down before everybody finds out what happened. But more of me is just like, reading a few of the articles, he's like, I just fucking felt like I got tired of being in charge of shit. I want to go do fun shit again. Like, this shit's stressful. I'm gonna go do some fun stuff before I retire.
So what he did,
I call bullshit, but yeah.
He stepped down from CEO, but he still oversees everything.
He's like the creative something.
Yeah, he's the executive like an executive decision maker on the board or something like that. So it still has to go through him, but he doesn't have the title CEO.
Become executive chairman.
Yeah. So it still has to go through him. But so what do you think, Rue? What are you thinking about this situation?
At first, I was like, "Oh, is it time?" Because I've been expecting him to step down for the last year and a half. I mean, he's talked about it. He's indicated that he has a schedule to keep, and so on and so forth. At one point, I remember he was actually expected to step down in about 2 years ago. I think it was 2018, 19. But then he put everything on pause because suddenly it became clear they could make the move to buy Fox. So.
Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot. Fox acquisition.
Right. So the Fox acquisition would have been like the crowning jewel to consolidate Disney's media empire while steering the company in the direction of direct-to-consumer stuff through Disney+.
The fucking Infinity Gauntlet.
Pretty much. The Infinity Gauntlet of media.
So
own our lives for the next 3, 4, 5, 10 generations. So I thought, okay, that makes sense. But I knew he was going to retire. In fact, I actually planned to buy his autobiography because he's been doing. You can tell he's been doing like the victory lap for a while. He's been doing press.
Dude, he's
been doing a lot.
He's so smart. Like the dude is smart. Yeah. And he is the embodiment to me of hard work pays off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he didn't take shortcuts. He did exactly because the shortcuts were Disney China. No, not Disney China. It was what was it? Paris. Paris almost went bankrupt.
Oh, really?
Because that was not Bob Iger. But then Bob Iger was like, no, bring it back. He did Pandora, and Pandora in the Animal Kingdom, if you guys have been there,
fucking incredible.
Is like fucking amazing.
It's nuts.
But then he also oversaw Galaxy's Edge and made sure it was done right.
I can't wait. I cannot fucking wait.
All these things right. But his thought process was, if we do it right, we will be successful. But if we cut corners and try and go for $1, our fan base will know that, and we're going to lose money in the long run. Yep. So he was doing things right, and he got it. And when my wife heard, her first thought, her initial fire was, I bet it's some kind of sex scandal.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
And I was like, what? Okay. but the three of us have been doing this show long enough to know that Disney doesn't fucking play with that. If it were something like that, he would no longer be. He would be stepping down immediately,
like completely
gone.
Right,
he's gone.
There's no chairman bullshit.
Right.
He's fucking gone. Because look at the director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
James Gunn was gone after a comment that he made years ago.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He was gone, and it was like they would not keep the CEO of the company on board over some bullshit. They would be like, no, he is stepped down indefinitely.
Yeah.
And you will not ever see his name again.
Yeah. Period. Stricken from the record.
Yeah, Disney is more powerful than the fucking government. Like, he's gone, period. Like, he lives
Disney
in Barbados
has the
now.
Force, all right?
Like,
Disney got the Force. This just
yeah.
They have the fucking Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
That is not a joke. Like, Disney's like, the presidential election. That's cute.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, right? Perfect snap. Like, oh, you guys want to talk about who's going to be president? Let's talk about who's going to be CEO. Like,
having said that, though, it's good that you brought up the political angle because a lot of people have been suggesting him as president for a while, and I think he's actually flirted with the idea. I mean, he's made comments.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's got my vote.
He's got your vote, Oprah's vote.
This is the only time me, Oprah, and fucking Tom Cruise are on the same page. Fucking serious?
Yeah, man.
Hey, Bob Iger, if you listen to this single podcast, Run for President, and I guarantee me, Oprah, and my arch nemesis, Tom Cruise, who's never heard of me, will all vote for you.
Okay, let's not beat around the bush. It is a little sudden. So I suspect there's a little more to it than we know about. I just don't know what it is.
Or we'll ever know about.
Well, truth has a way of spilling and coming out eventually. But I don't think it's going to matter when we find out. You know what I mean? But I think there's going to be something. It could be anything. It could be a health issue. It could be a decision on his part to just, maybe I don't know. Maybe who knows? Maybe his chosen successor was about to leave. You never know. I mean, he thought no,
Right.
because he's
We'll
lost
find
three
out.
three different people we thought would be his successors over the last 5-6 years. I think have left. Right.
Yeah.
So
His successor, I don't think anybody saw. Like nobody saw this coming.
it was
the guy was over what? Like
The Parks and Rec and something.
yeah.
Well, it's been
was
down
not
to
over-
him. I've read before. It's been down to him. Excuse me, and this other guy who launched Disney Plus. Like it was down to him and this other guy. who
Disney
launched
Parks,
Plus.
Experiences, and Products.
Yeah,
Right.
Disney Parks and Experiences. Now, I will say, I was just down there. The
You-
parks and
you're
experiences
impressed,
are like just the leaps and bounds they've made over the last couple years are ridiculous.
Dude,
Like
I can't.
now in line, they have an app on your phone where you can play games with the family. Like, have you guys seen Ellen's like heads up game?
Oh yeah.
They have a version of that sponsored by Disney that you can only play while in line for that ride
Yeah.
because they use your location.
Right. That's
But it's
dope.
like it's all free.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we know that you guys are going to be in line, so we're going to give you stuff to do in line.
That's dope.
So
The funniest meme I've
the
seen,
experiences are getting better.
The funniest meme I've seen about this says, Bob Iger steps down to make room for new Disney CEO, Baby Iger.
Baby
It has-
Iger.
It has him as a baby Yoda type.
That's funny.
So yeah.
So
you know,
I'm with you, Rue. I think there's more to the story. I don't think there's more as in like something negative. Like, because like I said, if it were that bad, he would just be gone. Like he would just disappear. And Disney would make it very clear, like, you know, we have no ties to him. You know, like he did that without us, you know, whatever, because Disney doesn't, they want to save face. But when he announces that he is stepping down, Disney gave him that power. He announced he's stepping down. I think it's like Rue says, maybe health, maybe like a personal family thing. For whatever reason, he's stepping down, and we'll find out later. But I think people need to slow down with all of the it's something like super negative. It's, you know, something sex scandal or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any of that.
No.
Right.
Like, they wouldn't let that shit fly.
I will say this: like, it's probably better to just focus on his actual legacy, because the guy has done some amazing shit over the last few years. When you stop and think about the things he's accomplished, like when they bought Marvel, I was like, whoa. But even then, we never knew it could turn into what it's turned into. Right? This was like a couple years after Iron Man, so it was like, okay, they bought a rising star, but no one thought it would be what it's turned into. Like biggest box office, constantly, event movie of the year after year,
Like,
billions and billions of dollars.
Let's say it like this: comic books have been around since what, the 20s? Like superhero capes have been around since like the 1920s. So 100 years, right? I don't think we've seen a point where superheroes are as commonplace as like hot chicks are now wearing like superhero shirts. All right, superheroes have always been like, oh, you know, well, you read comic books, you're a nerd from work. Hey, got 'em. But now it's like they sell superhero shirts to women that are like in their 20s. Did you know, have never seen a fucking comic book in their life, but they want like the 80s like Marvel Hercules on their fucking shirt. Like,
Yeah.
So now Marvel is like a cool thing. I'm just saying, I'm gonna give you that, because after Disney bought it and after the movies that Disney produced, now superheroes are cool. Captain America is cool now.
It's actually cool to hate on Marvel now. It's like, really? You're hating on Marvel? Why? Because they're successful?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I like, that's my thing, is Disney took comic books to a place with the movies that comic books would have never gotten to by themselves.
No, for sure.
Ever.
Yeah, it's what Disney has done for nerd culture as a whole is crazy. It's definitely we've never seen anything like it ever. Like, just and I think that's kind of the gateway for other nerd stuff like Dungeons and Dragons and video games being, with the evolution of video games, that's kind of a separate stream. But yeah, I mean it's crazy what the Marvel universe, because I mean fucking look, everybody's trying to do it. Like Universal's trying to do a monsters universe. DC tried to do they try to do their own universe. Everybody that's always the thing. Oh, okay, well, what's your universe gonna look like? It's not, you can't just come out with a movie now. It has to be, what's the universe gonna be?
Right, and that's because Marvel was Disney.
Yep.
Marvel.
Well, it wasn't
successful
at the time, but.
Well, no, but it is now.
It is now.
So it's like, oh well, I'm gonna use Universal because I think that's like the grasping at fucking straws here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, we have King Kong and Godzilla, and let's put them together. Yeah. But not just that, they're redoing Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and Dracula to be their own universe. And it's like,
universe.
That's what it is. Universal is doing Dracula in that universe, and then Godzilla is doing Universal is doing that universe as well. Godzilla, King Kong, that's like the King of Monsters universe.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do they have to coexist? Like, single movies like you guys used to do?
Nope.
And everyone's trying to dive on Disney, but and not just movies. I'll say their rides too at Disney. Universal is like, okay, well, how do we emulate? And everyone's trying to catch up to Disney.
Well, because I went to Universal probably 4 or 5 years ago. And it was fine. Like, there's some fun rides. But the only thing that really grabs me at Universal is Harry Potter World. And that's because it is the most immersive thing I've ever done outside of Pandora. Because even or Disney Disney's a whole, but specifically Pandora, because I haven't been to Galaxy's Edge yet. But, and I'm hoping that they're going to take the same approach with the Super Nintendo World that they're adding on. That comes out, opens up next year.
But see, Super Nintendo World to me will look like Toy Story World at Disney. Like, it'll be nostalgic and it'll be like, oh, this is cool, but it's not immersive because you can't feel like you're in a Nintendo game. Now, I wish to be proven wrong.
Sure.
Okay? Like, let me say that. But if I walk by and I see a fucking square, right, with a mushroom coming halfway out of it, it's like, that's cool. But it's kind of like walking through and seeing Tinker Toys in Toy Story. It's like, that's cool, but I know it's not real.
Yeah.
But when I went to Galaxy's Edge, it was like you could hear jets flying over your head.
Oh, shit.
And it's like, okay, am I really here? Or is this like, am I in the park still?
Yeah,
like, what the fuck is going on? And in the rides, no one breaks character.
You gotta stop, because I have months. I still have like 6 months.
Dude, no one ever breaks character.
God, I can't.
Like, it's if they break character, they can no longer. It's like working inside of Galaxy's Edge is like the next step for working inside the park. So like when you get to work at Galaxy's Edge, everyone that's in the ride is an actor.
Yeah.
Like they're all actors. And it's like, oh, you work at Disney. Okay, that's cool. What do you do? Well, I work at Galaxy's Edge. Okay, now you're on the same par as like the fucking princesses that do the parades. Like, it's immersive, they don't break character, and it's great. But
fuck, I can't wait, dude. I'm so excited.
Super Nintendo World can't give you that.
No, you're right. It won't be the same because Harry Potter World did mostly. Yeah. It's.
And I haven't been there, but from what I've heard, Harry Potter World, it's immersive.
It really is.
But there's still people that work at Universal that are still like, yeah, okay.
It's like 50-50, right? It's like, it's like the regular Disney regular parts of the Disney parks. You get a few cast members that are like, they are fucking in it to win it. They are all about it. And you get the same thing at Universal. You'll get a couple of the people that work there, like in the Harry Potter world, that are fucking, you can tell they've read all the books. They're in it, and then but then you get some that are like, cool, like I got stationed here today. I'm not gonna totally screw you over.
I got questions for you guys.
What's up?
So, thinking about Disney, right? Like I thought about Eisner,
Yes.
Who was
Will
the
Eisner?
guy? Who was the guy before?
Iger.
That's not
And
confusing.
I thought of what?
So that's not confusing at all.
Michael Eisner.
Yes.
He was the CEO before him, and he handed over in 2005. And under him, there's a lot of things that happened, right? He basically took Disney from that theme park operator studio to a massive company. Like the things I'm reading, he added the cruise ship line. He added the stage play division. He added 10 cable channels. He added ESPN. He added 7 theme parks under him.
Damn.
So a lot of what he did was amazing. But here's the thing: each CEO who shows up basically kickstarts a whole new era and transforms things and one-ups the guy before. So Eisner hands over in 2005. Iger takes over in 2005. The very next year, first thing he does is he buys Pixar, that's the first thing he does. He buys Pixar. And then after buying Pixar in 2009, he buys Marvel. Then he goes on to buy, Lucasfilm and Fox. So my point being, I'm looking at the new guy and thinking,
what the fuck is he gonna do?
What are you gonna do? So I want you guys to put on your CEO hats for a second. If you were the CEO of Disney now,
fucking who's left?
Where would you?
No. See, it's not about acquisitions at this point.
It's about which direction, what new.
It's about
molding.
It's about molding what you have, creating and I think we were touching on it a little bit with Disney Plus, right? It's about Iger got all of these acquisitions for me, right? Okay, great. Now I've got it on my table.
What can I do with it?
Bought the clay for me.
Yeah.
Now it's time for me to put the clay together.
I like
to
that.
make a vase.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
What are you gonna make out of what Iger set already?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that this guy has a skate job. I think his job might be even harder than Iger's job, because Iger bought him. Yeah, that was difficult, and Iger is great. He's my favorite Disney CEO. But to see what this guy does with this,
it's gonna be interesting.
It's like a presidency, right? Like one president can be like, "Hey, I've set all of these things up for the next few years. Now you have to take it." Now, no presidents work like this. It would be great if they did, right?
Yeah.
Like if they work together, right?
Right.
Like one nation, undivided, like that bullshit. But it's like, okay, I got all this stuff. Now it's time for you to take it and form it and make a better community for everyone.
A better version of it.
It's not about acquiring anything new. I think with what they have, this guy can do great stuff.
Shit, you better be fucking Pixar, Lucasfilm, Marvel Studios, and Fox. If you can't fucking blow my socks off with all of that fucking behind you.
But where can he go that hasn't already been gone? That's the question.
Right, and that is I agree. That is his job. What can he give us that we haven't already seen? Because like you said, he has
buddy,
the tools.
Let's hashtag Disney World, hashtag Disney, hashtag anything that will get Disney's attention. Because listen to me when I tell you this. I was talking to Adam. You guys know Adam Ellis from Dragon Con, and we were talking about it today. And we were talking about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is great, but they're coming out with a Marvel universe in California that's supposed to raise the bar again. So Galaxy's Edge is here. Marvel is supposed to be here because Galaxy's Edge set the bar. So Marvel is going to go above. But we were talking about, how he sees a whole bunch of talk about how they're bringing stuff to Orlando because Disney just doesn't give a fuck, right? Like they're going to do it. They don't give a fuck. They have the money. But let's do this. Let's each think of a character that is not represented by Universal, right? So no Hulk, no Spider-Man, no X-Men, no Fantastic Four, no Captain America, no Iron Man, and create a park, because the way it's written in Orlando, Universal has the rights to those Marvel characters. How can you successfully create a Marvel universe in Orlando without using those key characters. And they're using Guardians of the Galaxy already. So what other characters are left? And my character, I'll throw it in already. I said an Ant-Man ride would be awesome.
You could do some cool stuff with Ant-Man.
You could do great things with Ant-Man on a ride at Disney.
Yeah, like fucking giant box of popcorn that you're riding by makes you feel super small. Like that's you're right. That'd be.
But then it flips halfway through the ride.
Right,
and you're massive.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Like they could do so much with it. So what characters in the MCU?
Fucking Soren over like Asgard. That would be dope as shit. Going through like
Thor. I didn't even think about that.
Dude, like a Soren type ride where you're going through the 9 realms and then you get like the Ice World and Asgard and Midgard and you get all the different. That would be dope.
Flying through like the Thor type.
Yeah.
Dude, even as a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like you have a chariot and the roller coaster takes you through the 9 realms. That would be tight.
Yep.
So Thor, Ant-Man. Naru is very quiet. He is putting a lot of thought into this.
Well, I'm thinking about it from another perspective entirely. Because I'm thinking about the future as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which reminds me, you guys remember we were supposed to go do the VR experience and somehow have
that Tank went and did without us.
I did it.
You're shitting me.
No, I went and did it.
No, he did it
months
without
ago.
us, dude.
Me, the wife, and her brother.
Anyway, so I'm
It
thinking
was
like,
pretty cool.
What is the future? Like, what is the one thing I know is already such a thing that's going to become even bigger in the next 10 years? And I think VR is the route. And I think
don't they already have certain roller coasters? Sorry, I totally cut you off. Don't they already have some roller coasters where you put a VR headset on?
Not at Disney.
Not at Disney, but I think some.
SeaWorld has one.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
What I'm thinking about is this super massive integrated mixture of gaming experience that Disney has the muscle, the IP, and the bought in, people, fandom to sign up for. And I'm thinking like, think Guardians of the Galaxy world experience where you just basically doing a whole VR. You can be any of these characters and still connect to all these other different areas. Because with the Guardians of the Galaxy, you can touch Earth, you can touch Asgard, you can touch pretty much anywhere and everywhere. And it being VR, it's just open to the entire world. And think about the fact that, one guy took Eisner took regular theme parks and turned them into all these massive what you guys were describing. The whole theme of everybody's bought in, everybody's engaged. This is not just a theme park, this is an experience. And then now you have a chance to take that to the next level where I can literally be in my home. All three of us, 4 of us could do this at home and just dive in and be in the same experience. Or we could travel and experience
Ready Player One.
Thank you. So that's the future.
I will give you back your Soren.
Disney Player One.
And I'll give you back Soren so you can have Thor and just flying through the 9 realms. And Naru's thoughts of the future, sparked my MCU brain. A fucking roller coaster that makes you part of the fucking Nova Corps.
Oh, it'd be cool.
And you put on like when the little seat thing comes down,
it has like a helmet thing. Yeah.
That's VR in. So then in the roller coaster, you feel like you're actually flying through space.
So fucking kids. So Flights of Passage in Pandora at Disney. It's like one step shy of VR. Like it's like a big. It's like a big ass screen. So like it pretty much takes up your field of vision for the most part.
Yeah.
And so it's very easy to ignore the parts that aren't. And so
you can fucking breathe.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It's so cool. If you take if you could take that same technology, because doing the VR thing here in Atlanta, it was cool, but it feels like the first iteration of something. It's like, okay, cool. They have a really cool idea, and this was really fun because no one else does it like this. But I can also see how far this could possibly go, and that's almost more exciting than what I did. Because what I did was super cool, and it was very unique, and I've never done anything like it. But you are just slightly limited
you
based
could
on
taste that. That's the beginning.
Exactly. It's like
Pong and video games.
I was gonna say it's like playing Sega Genesis. Like I have 4 buttons now. Like this is oh my god. This is gonna be so cool. And then you fast forward to fucking to 2020, and you've got Assassin's Creed where they're rebuilding the burnt down of Notre Dame because they built it so fucking real in Assassin's Creed. That's what they're using that as a reference. Like I can see where the VR stuff can go, and if you can take so if you kind of put all of this together and in 5 years we get this totally fully immersed VR experience, then you have a holodeck from Star Trek, which is what I've been fucking wanting since I was 12.
Or Naru, we're about to fucking nerd out on the nerds from work because he's saying holodeck. What about a fucking danger room?
What X-Men? Okay. Oh yeah.
Danger room? Are you kidding me?
It's effectively a holodeck. It's basically the same thing as a holodeck.
Yeah, but danger room has a cooler name.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
come on, you gotta admit.
I grew up on Star Trek,
wait till somebody comes up. Like somebody needs to.
No, because I can
come up with solid light technology.
I can. Well, that's the thing, because I can one up your danger room because the holodeck technology is based on transporter technology, which means no more fucking sitting in traffic. You're welcome.
Okay, so let's go with this because I don't even mind traffic that much. It gives me time to listen to podcasts.
Dude,
that is true.
And Replicator.
Podcast time, selfless plug, but the danger room, right? Like, let's think of this Void VR, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get 4 people, you going to a danger room scenario. Oh, fuck, this just makes me want to be a VR game designer and just create a game called the fucking danger room. And then, like, every time you enlist, right, in the danger room, you have a different character.
Yeah.
So any of the X-Men, blue team or gold team, you get assigned a character. Now you've got to deal with these powers in the danger room. So, like, Brandon could be fucking Colossus. I could be Storm. Like, Tank is obviously Jubilee.
What the
and,
fuck?
Like, Naru gets Wolverine, right? Like,
wow.
But then next time it switches up.
I got shit on.
Yeah, dude, you're the daughter of fucking Bret Hart.
Anyway.
You're the wrath of the daughter of Bret Hart.
What is wrong with
bitch? But anyway, I could go on and on and on. But Bob Iger, let's stop all the bullshit. You guys know that Disney would not keep him around if he did something negative. So you guys stop this fucking bullshit TMZ train trying to say that Bob Iger did something terrible, because he didn't.
No.
Because they wouldn't keep him around. All right, look at James Gunn reference. But hey, Tank, this was a big show, so tell them where to find you.
Man, you guys can find me all over the internet at The Caped Critic. Make sure you guys are checking out Dungeons and Day Drinkers. Releases every other Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's dope. This week we finish up the first chapter, so make sure you're around for the conclusion of our level 4 characters. Don't worry, it gets better.
No, they're only level 3 at that point.
Oh, we started at 3? Shit. See, we've been playing. We're so far ahead of where we're. Anyways, yeah, check it out. Dungeons and Day Drinkers. It's so much fun, and it's actually really funny. Like, going back through the recordings to edit, I'm still laughing at like the shit that we were doing. So it's really good.
Rue, tell them where to find you.
Y'all can find me at Nuru, the Nerd Guru, on Instagram and Twitter. Hit me up with your stupid ass Bob Iger fantasies and fake, false, stupid takes so I can bitch slap some people. Pretty much. Like, seriously, some of the stuff I've read just sitting here has been annoying enough. But yeah, catch me up there and let's get into it.
All right. So I'm trying to figure out. Yeah.
Find a dating site.
No, not trying to find a dating site, but trying to find something to go over that, right? And it's so hard because we don't know like what could ever replace the dating site, right? So I feel like we can try things from week to week, and maybe this week we'll try dad jokes.
Jokes.
Yeah, we'll try dad jokes. So we'll all throw out one dad joke at the end. But you guys can find me, Houdini0333. I was about to say at Amazon.
What?
Shit, you can find me on Amazon buying bullshit. 0333 on Instagram and Twitter. You can find all of us at TheNerdsFromWork.com. That has all of our social media stuff. Like I said at the beginning of the show, Naru keeps that up to date, and we will be getting more stuff on there in regards to our upcoming 2020 tour and all the shows that you guys will find us live at. We might be switching up a little bit and doing some different conventions this year, so keep an eye on the website to see where we're going to be. But as far as this week's dad joke, a lot of people have wondered over the years what came first, the chicken or the egg. I want to let everybody know that I ordered them on Amazon, so next week I'll let you know.
Wow.
Isn't that the sound that always follows dad jokes, though?
Usually. Fuck, one more thing I have to add in post. Thanks, Jason.
Fine. We'll do one more. One more dad joke. I've got 2 girls, so this is... Actually, it hits the heart a little bit, but my daughter was screaming, "Dad, have you not listened to anything I have said?" And I thought that was a really weird way for her to start a conversation.
Oh God! Don't tell my wife that joke. I'll get hit
next week. Hey, from all of us here at the workplace. Peace.
Oh shit, that's funny.